is the concept of going into retirement, or that you are retired? What does that actually mean? It's quite a new phenomenon in modern days, where people reach a level and then they retire. Well, we need to really dive into this and to understand, what does retirement mean from a biblical perspective, from a spiritual perspective? So before you're about to dive into that retirement mode, think about, what does retirement mean? What does God want from us in our retirement? Well, I'm talking to you after 40 years working as a pulpit rabbi, building and leading a congregation for 40 years, and watching many of my congregants who entered the world of retirement. And I followed them, those who succeeded, who continued to live on for many, many years, and those who did not. And I came to a conclusion that I want to share with you so that you can make an educated decision of A, should you retire? How to retire? And what does retirement actually mean from a spiritual perspective? When we were born, when we were created, the day you were born, the day you and I were born, God said the world can no longer exist without us. In other words, God brought us to this world for a purpose and a reason. We didn't just come here by happenstance, by chance, by a force of nature. It was rather by design. Not just by design, but specific design. Specifically, God chose a soul for you and I, and put us in the world, in this generation, in this time of life, because we have something to offer the world. We have something to offer that no one else can. Yes, you and I can bring something to this world that no one else can do that. And that is why God created us. That's why God put us on this world, so that we can accomplish it. And that begins at birth. At birth, the moment we take our first breath, we inhale a soul of God. And that soul is what gives us our vitality. This is the soul that gives us our energy. This is the soul that sustains us until the end of our life. And this soul is our energy, is our driving force, that to be able to direct us where and how we need to be in life. And thus our journey begins. We go through childhood, we go through our education, we go through high school, we go through college, we get educated, and then we land ourselves a career. How do we get to that career? Why did we end up in that specific career? Where did that all come from? It wasn't just happenstance. It was by design. Whatever career we landed in is because God directed us. God sends us arrows. God sends us information. God sets up everything that happens to us in life for a purpose, for a reason. So the career that we land in, that is by divine providence. And we embrace it because we're good at it. Because this is us. This is either what we got educated for. This is what we got experience in. This is what talks to me. This is where my talents are. We embrace it because that is what God wanted us to do. As King David writes in the book of Psalms, God decides man's footsteps. So wherever we go, wherever we find ourselves, it's meant to be. So let's take the 40 years of a career that we invested 40 years in. We started out and we grew with the career, and along the 40 or 50 years, we have learned so much. We have become so experienced in the career that we were in. What happens now, after 40, 50 years, when the expression is time to hang up your hat? What does that actually mean? Really? I spent 40, 50 years investing in my life, in learning all these experiences. Now that I have reached the apex. I've reached the top, the pinnacle of my career, and now I'm going to say, I'm done? This is the moment that you should say, wow, I have more experience than someone who's just starting out. I have 40, 50 years of experience. Why should I stop now? On the contrary, let me take all this experience that I have accumulated, that I have lived with. As the sages say, there's no greater wise person than the one who has experienced life like that. Take your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and begin applying it. As a matter of fact, you could even teach the younger ones who are just starting out from your experiences and from all the trappings and the failings and the mistakes that you could offer so much. So what's this concept that at the end of your career, it's coming to an end? It actually shouldn't be the end. It should be the beginning. Let me share with you a cute line, an anecdote about retirement. Have you ever taken your car to the tire shop and told the manager, "Sir, I'm here to retire my car"? The manager looks at you. He doesn't think you're planning to give up your car. He listens to you and he says, I want you to retire. You want new tires. You want to take your car whose tires got worn out and you want to put on fresh new tires so you can go for another 60,000 miles. That is what retirement should be. Retire. Think about it. You have worked 40, 50 years in a career. Yes, some of your tires may have gotten worn out. I remember towards my end of 40 years, people say, "Rabbi, you seem burnt out. You have really put in 40 long years." And I thought about that concept when they tell me, "Rabbi, are you burnt out?" I says, "I'm not burnt out. I may be worn out a bit, but it's time to pop off the old worn out tires and put on fresh tires." And when you put on fresh tires, you get rejuvenated and you feel good. Your car's going to run fine. It's on safe tires and you're going to be good for another 60,000 miles. That is what retirement means. So if retirement comes your way, that your company tells you, it's time to hang up your hat. Our company policy does not allow you to work any further, and you are forced into retirement. Or your doctors tell you, "Sir, ma'am, you gotta slow down. Putting in these long hours, these long days, your body is not able to keep up with it, etc." So if you are forced into retirement, think of it as this is a moment for renewal. There's a little secret out there that many people don't know about it. How old was Moses? Moses, who faced God face to face, who brought the 10 Commandments down. How old was he when he began his career? How old do you think he was? Moses was 80 years old when he began his career. At 80 years old, when many of us are thinking about retirement, Moses was beginning his life. He was beginning his career. And he lived to be 120 years. That's where the expression comes from. May God bless you to live 120 years. It reminds me of the story about the rabbi who came to visit the old age home. And he met a gentleman who was 100 years old. And the rabbi told him, "God bless you for another 20 years of good life." Then he met another gentleman who was 110 years old. And the rabbi says, "May God bless you for another 10 years. You should reach 120 years old." Then he met another elderly who was 119 years old. And the rabbi looks at him and says, "Have a good day. Yes, we wish each other to live to 120 years old. That's a long life. But his career began at 80 years old. So when we are faced with the concept of retirement, think of it, not the end, but the beginning. It is imperative to continue a daily schedule, to continue doing the things that you didn't have a chance to do before. Attending synagogue, going to a daily morning services or evening services, studying the Torah, studying the Bible, volunteering, and being a mentor. Take your years of experience. Don't let it fade away. And I have seen that the members of my congregation who have retired, if they kept active and they kept a daily routine, they still showed up at services at 7 o'clock every day. And they came to the classes and they came to the evening services and they kept the routine going and they found productive things to do during the day. They lived very long. Versus others who found themselves running in circles with empty days, meaningless days, purposeless days. They did not last very long. And that is my advice to you. They say after 60, you're over the hill. What does that mean? When you're over the hill, you build up speed, which means anytime you get over the hill, things get a lot easier and a lot quicker. So dive in to your retirement. Become more active, become more effective. And don't let boredom and emptiness dominate your life. That will destroy you. Every day needs to be a completed day. But God is giving you this time of retirement to catch up on what you have missed until now. Catch up on growing spiritually. Catch up on praying, learning Hebrew, learning Judaism, exploring this beautiful world that gave us with meaning and with purpose. Take care of your health, take care of your body, and think of every day of retirement and saying, what have I done today that was accomplishing? And take all your years of your experience in your career and apply it where it's most needed. And God should bless you to continue on fulfilling our mission that we were set in this world at birth, to continue on every single day accomplishing something greater than the next day. And one good deed leads to another good deed. God bless you. God loves you.